Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the liberal loudmouth. So, today's video is a reiteration of something that I have already stated in a previous video, which is that the Owasso Police Department made statements, purposeful statements, along with the release of edited information and uncensored information, like the 911 phone call, in order to skew a public narrative so that it would change the dynamic of the conversation online and pull the heat off of the police and the school. And it was done on purpose. And I'm going to show you an article that essentially tells you that what I said was correct. Let's look at that article right now, and then we'll talk about how much bullshit this is. All right, as you can see here, this is NBC News. Fight hasn't been ruled out as a cause of Nex Benedict's death, police say. You don't say. A police spokesman said previous statements that Nex Benedict didn't die as a result of trauma didn't rule out the fight as a contributing factor. Authorities haven't ruled out that a fight at the school could have contributed to the death of Nex Benedict, a 16-year-old transgender student whose case has drawn international media attention. Owasso police said in a statement last week that preliminary information from the medical examiner's office indicated that Benedict did not die as a result of trauma. The police department added that further comments on Benedict's cause of death were pending until toxicology results are released. Some community members and others on social media took the department's statements to mean that any potential injuries Benedict sustained from the fight didn't cause his death. Some community members and others on social media took the department's statement to mean that any potential injuries Benedict sustained from the fight didn't cause his death, which is weird that they called Nex a him. However, Lieutenant Nick Boatman, a police spokesperson, told NBC News on Tuesday that wasn't what the statement was intended to mean. Quote, "We did not interpret that in any way," he said of the word trauma, which he said was used by the medical examiner's office. He said that the medical examiner's office didn't say it had ruled out the fight as causing or contributing to Benedict's death, and that, quote, "people shouldn't make assumptions either way." The police department doesn't normally release such information early, he said, but it did so to be transparent and in response to an inordinate amount of public pressure because of the international media coverage the case has attracted. Boatman said the police department released video and audio recordings to address similar misinformation about Benedict's injuries immediately after the fight and to show that he was escorted to the nurse's office. Again, they're saying he. What the hell is this? They included body camera video of an interview with Benedict and his mother in the hospital, as well as 911 audio from the day Benedict died. He said the department provided the video and 911 calls to Benedict's family through their lawyer before it released the information publicly. The police department doesn't have a timeline for when it will receive toxicology results, he said, adding that such lab results can take months. He said no charges have been filed and no arrests have been made. First of all, Nex was born a girl. Now you're going to have people on the right saying, see, he was a boy in the wrong bathroom. Now, besides all of that mess that's, inevitably going to be talked about online, let's talk about what the police did and why they did what they did. These police officers aren't stupid, okay? They released information claiming that the medical examiner's office said that it wasn't due to trauma, but I didn't define trauma. I was just interpreting what the medical examiner's office said. I didn't define trauma. And then we simultaneously released a phone call and just happened to not censor the medication that was released over that phone call. And we then, said we've got to wait for the toxicology reports to come out. Now, while I cannot prove that the police department purposely did this, I think it's fairly obvious to anybody what they were doing when in the same breath, this Nick Boatman character also admits that we needed to get this stuff out there because people were mad at us and they were saying mean things to us. So we had to do everything we could to rehabilitate the way that the public perceives us. And that was the most important thing. So then we strategically released this drip of information. I'm not buying this. Well, we didn't interpret the word trauma. We just interpreted what the medical examiner's office had said. This is all to generate confusion. That interview, the other interview with Popular Opinion, and it is also a way to cover their ass, because I have a feeling that perhaps that toxicology report is coming out a little sooner than maybe they anticipated. And that's why now they're doing interviews saying explicitly, well, we didn't actually say what they said. It's just the news media, the mainstream media, came out and made these statements that it wasn't due to the altercation. I mean, there were news media outlets that were writing in the title that police come out and say that that Nex Benedict's death was not a result of trauma from the fight. I've seen countless titles that said that. And of course, then this generates, the left versus the right issue. And the thing that people have forgotten about is the school and the police department. What did the school do that was wrong? What did the police department do that was wrong? Why in that video of inside the school, why does it show the other girls that left being unescorted twice from that area? They were allowed to walk away without any escort from either staff or security. Why do we not see the video from Nex going from the bathroom to the nurse's station? Why do we see the worst possible angle of that bathroom that they have, even though that whole entire school is covered in cameras? I mean, every angle that you could imagine is going to be covered by a camera in that school. Owasso has a lot of resources. They have cameras everywhere. They can watch these kids go from one part of the campus all the way to the other, all on video. I mean, probably every inch of that school is under surveillance 24/7. But again, this is a police department and the school and the local media all working in conjunction with each other to paint a narrative to get the public to talk about something else. They just threw a wrench into everybody's conversations. They basically killed Nex Benedict's family's GoFundMe. This is why you can't even believe your own damned government. And matter of fact, you should believe them less. And you should not believe the mainstream media that parrots what an official government organization says. Whenever you hear somebody, well, we need to wait for the official version of it and to hear what the police say, you probably should question that news organization if that's the only information that they put out. When they only offer this one side as the official narrative, then that's a problem, because people in the government, they lie. People in the police department, they will lie. People in the public schools, they will lie. These people will lie, or they will obfuscate, or they will muddy the waters, or they will make statements that are purposely misleading, but then so they can come back and say, well, that's not what we said, just to cover their ass. So if the toxicology comes back and shows that there was no overdose of anything, and that it was a result of a brain hemorrhage or something, because the posturing that was talked about in that 911 call absolutely suggests some kind of brain injury, whatever that may be, or what caused that, I don't know. Anyway, so be wary of what the police say, and always question why are they saying this? Why are they releasing this at this moment? Why did they just now give this interview to NBC saying the exact opposite? And why is NBC now using a he pronoun? To me, this is purposeful. To me, this is purposeful to further muddy the water, and maybe for NBC it'll work out, because then everybody's going to start sharing that article. Like, oh my God, you're using the wrong pronoun. And then everybody's going to focus on things that aren't important, which is, and the thing that's important is, what can we do to fix the school? What can we do to make the police department better so that they don't do shit like this in the future? Anyway, that's it for now, guys. This is the Liberal Loudmouth. We'll catch you next time. Peace.